This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters, on Real Talk 1160. And Sensible Don, I continue to get fan mail, which expresses that they are happier. Bulldog Nation are happier when we don't have these women in this studio.
Is that
and
right?
By the way, did you hear from your sidekick?
Yes, my sidekick's not feeling well.
I know it.
But?
Works out just fine. No women in the studio.
I love my
Now,
sidekick.
Sensible Don, first of all, we got big news. Tomorrow, Michael Savage premieres here at the radio station beginning at noon to 3, The Savage Nation, which, of course, will follow the radio addiction of Laura Ingraham, which follows the Bulldog Nation radio. Sensible Don, a couple things before we get into our regularly scheduled program. Drones. You know, Obama's taking some heat for unleashing drones everywhere, including in Pakistan. And I was thinking on the way from my truck into the building here, wouldn't it be awesome to have a drone that if your neighbor's dog pooped in your yard, you could take it out with a drone and nobody would know?
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't you like to have your own personal drone?
Oh, but the thing about this, start turning on their friends, though.
And then also, Sensible Don, as we begin our video broadcast here, did you flunk kindergarten?
Oh, I certainly did. It was a waste
I'll
of
bet
time.
you every time there was show and tell every day, you forgot to bring something show and tell.
I got my show and tell.
All right, I've got a special thing to show to everybody for show and tell. And, of course, we'll describe it for the radio listening audience so nobody misses out here. It's just that it's a special treat for those that get to watch it on video. This was given to me by my son, and lots of people have asked me, what is the secret to my success? And some say, is it history? I said, nah. That good farm work ethic? Nah. Is it my stellar education?
How about that outstanding?
No. It's all due to Dwight. Now, what I have here, and I got to make sure I get my microphone. This is a poster that my son gave to me. And you might want to get up and walk around there because you can't see it, Sensible Don. This is Dwight from The Office. And this hangs in my home office as I face the wall above my television. And those of you that know Dwight from The Office is kind of a dorky guy. And he has his name here, Dwight D. Determined.
D-White.
W. Worker.
He looks
Intense. I. Intense. G, good worker. H, hard worker. T, terrific. Dwight, the determined worker. Intense, good worker. Hard worker, terrific. And I said, I got to have a show and tell. So I took this down from the wall today. Dwight's a trip, man.
Yeah, I can see that.
Have you ever seen The Office? Tell me you've seen The Office.
Yes.
God, he's funny. I saw it this week, or it was on, I don't know if it was an old running or something. He had it wasn't the Guardian Angels. I forget what the name of his group was. But
the Hells Angels?
It was some of the, he had one of those like street groups, and they were nerds, man. And they had little uniforms, and they were going to play catchers with their flashlights. They were playing catchers with flashlights. There's a show and tell.
I got a show and tell.
What's your show and tell?
Can you see my sweatshirt?
Norwegian Epic?
Yeah, the Epic. The
What's so
biggest
special
cruise
about
liner
that?
on Earth. This boat carries 5,000 plus people plus 2,000 people to take care of that 5,000. Guess what? This boat was so big.
How big was it?
I mean, it was like 17 stories high on the water. And we're not talking about the 30 feet underwater that it started. But the thing about it, it was in dock in Cozumel. The wind was so strong, the boat couldn't move.
This is funny. Somebody had asked me for my email address yesterday, and I responded with Too Big Willy Whacker at kingoftheworld.com.
No, you didn't.
I did. I thought of that when you said how it was a big.
Is that what's crossing
They
your
were like,
mind?
there was a pause.
I guess
there
it
was a pause.
Oh.
Sensible Don, I've only had a half an hour's sleep.
Is that all?
I worked all night because I stay current. I mean, I take care of every single one of my clients. Every single one of them. How many clients I got, I take care of them. So anyway, I worked all night, only had a half an hour sleep. But I was watching historical documentaries last night while I was working, and I saw a documentary about Livingston and Stanley. Okay? And I also watched another one by the Conquistadors, which means conqueror in Spain. Well, anyway, this Stanley dude and Marco Polo, I watched Marco Polo. Anyway, this Livingston guy grew up in Scotland. He was religious, but he also believed in science. He became a doctor. And he probably traveled on, probably as much as anybody in the history of the world, in Africa. And he discovered Lake Victoria. He named it after Queen Victoria and whatever. But he was gone one point in time. 15 years, Don.
That's a long time to discover.
And they said when he came back that there was some issues with his family feeling neglected.
I guess it was.
Marco Polo was gone for 20 years. And he spent some of that time in prison when he wrote this book. Now, Sensible Don, you know what? What kind of travelers go away and you're gone for 15 years and 20 years?
And you got a family back there waiting for you.
I mean, these guys might have been famous, but come on.
Oh, but
that's abuse.
Yeah, that's definitely abuse, but it took a year to ride the boat from Europe to here in those days, though.
And we got a great quote for the day. Good men must not obey the laws too well. I like that. That's by Emerson.
But you're good at that. You're really good at that.
You're right, Sensible Don. That quote's meant for me,
Ain't no doubt about it. You are really good at that.
Again, good men must not obey the laws too well.
Yes, sir. You hit that one on the nose.
Sensible Don, how many people can brag that they kicked the hell out of the Kentucky Bar Association Council?
Can we say one? Can we say
I
one?
got her fired.
Wrote new law.
Hey, if any of you are listening to me and you're wondering whether you want to hire me as a lawyer, the Kentucky Bar Association prosecuted me unfairly on 19 BS charges, and not only did I get them whacked, the Bar Council prosecutor got fired.
See, solve the problem.
This day in history, 1865, Robert E. Lee was named General-in-Chief of all the Confederate armies.
The war was over with.
You know what, Sensible Don? We're going to have to get on Sarah's butt. That has to be 1861. Hello!
If it hadn't been for...
Remember the Ruby? And Oswald screw up?
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, that war was gone,
If it wasn't
girl.
for Robert E. Lee, we wouldn't have had the Dukes of Hazzard.
You got that right.
In 1950, Truman announced we'd ordered the development of a hydrogen bomb. Oh, my God. Here she goes again on these birthdays. Birthdays today. We got a good one. A couple good ones. Justin Timberlake, who's 30. Rich S.O.B. God, man. Just think of Timberlake. Movies, music, girls, money, golf. He's always golfing in those pro-ams.
How about good looks?
He doesn't have good looks.
Oh, he doesn't?
Heck no.
The women think so.
Many drivers 40.
Yes.
And he's 90. He would have been 92 today. Jackie Robinson.
My man.
Jackie
Robinson.
He's a great man.
He wasn't the best ball player in the Negro League at that time.
Heck no, it's Josh Gibson.
That's right. Josh Gibson was the best.
And you know what? I thought that was a bunch of crap of what Branch Rickey made Jackie Robinson do. Now, don't get mad. Don't get mad.
The things they say,
kill him.
Well, that's why Josh Gibson couldn't come up. He would have killed somebody.
Yep. Today's partly cloudy, Wednesday mostly cloudy, Thursday a few showers. That's the weather report.
Warm weather, unseasonably warm.
I am barbecuing today.
And I want to make, how much time we got till the break?
Another minute and a half, 2 minutes.
When we come back, we're going to give you the feel-good song. We're going to play the feel-good song at both hours because it's just that darn good. All right. First Lady Edith Wilson was a vigorous opponent of the women's suffrage movement. She called suffragettes agitating for the right to vote detestable and disgusting. But while she didn't seem to think women should have the vote, she didn't have any problem with one running for the White House as long as it was her. In October of 1919, Wilson had a stroke. He suffered major memory loss, couldn't speak very well. Edith acted quickly to hide his condition from everyone. No one but the doctors could get to see him. Even the vice president and secretary of state were turned away. Mrs. Wilson took control. During the 5 months the president was incapacitated, she screened everything he saw. She would meet with him in private, then come out and issue orders. She penned directives to the government officials that began, "The president says." She even co-wrote an inaugural message that went to Congress in his name. She claimed she was just carrying out the president's wishes.
Right.
But the truth is that he was nearly comatose.
He was.
Edith Wilson said she never made a single decision herself,
Right, okay.
but others saw it differently. Nashville, Tennessean described her as the nation's first presidentess. The Boston Globe called her acting first man. London Daily Mail called her the acting president of the United States.
She was.
Sounds like Nancy Reagan.
When we return, humor, politics, and a feel-good song to make you happy, all on Real Talk 1160.
If you're away from the radio, make sure you use the Radio Loyalty app free on your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android to hear Real Talk 1160 24/7. The official app of Bulldog, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, the other guys, and 1160 Sports. And now, back to the Bulldog.
We want to promote our sponsors, so we're going to mention a few of them every break coming back. We want to promote Ace Hardware, Appliance Loft, and Aroma Restaurant and Sushi. We did the A's right there, Sensible Don, if you didn't notice.
A's?
We did the A's.
We going to the B's later?
No, we don't have any B's. We go to C's.
Oh, see? What about John
Sensible
Bick?
Don, yesterday I came in here. I told you I was in a bad mood.
Yes, you were.
And I fought on through, and I ended up concluding my day with superbity.
You did.
Superbity. And it just goes to show you that you have to fight through things. And the most important thing you got to do in life, Sensible Don, is you got to do it your way. You got to do it your way.
Always do it your way.
You got to do it your way. There's only one way to go through life, and that's doing it your way, Don. Not your way, your way.
Is that the lead in? The TC finally get in? Oh, that's beautiful. I love that song. He can really sing. That man can sing.
I'm not facing a final curtain, though, Don.
I hope not.
They tried. They tried to bring the curtain down. I want everybody to sing out loud in your car. We ought to just play this every day for the feel-good song.
No.
TC, just work on your green water commercial. He died on the throne.
Because he was the king.
He would never live that down.
Too few to mention, Don. I've had a few, but just too few to mention. Like
Have
having
just one more.
Like having women in the studio.
Your idea fell apart. Now you're upset about it.
Without exemption. He talked like a lawyer. Can mention Elvis as a lawyer. Your Honor, thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I just want to say my man's innocent.
He would get sanctioned for that outfit.
Not guilty. Not guilty. Hell, the women would go, oh, we'll vote not guilty.
Yes.
That's what they do for me. Like my bald head.
If Elvis was an
My
attorney.
way. Here we go. Crescendo, Don. I sure you do.
That looks like,
Yeah, I've bit off a little bit more than I could chew every once in a while.
now that's medium Elvis right there.
He's honest.
Yes! Ate it up! Spit it out! My way! Sing it, Elvis.
He really had a stage presence.
He sure did.
He really had a stage presence.
He's a fat guy that could get chicks, Don.
Oh, that's the kind of guy you want to be when you get old. Fat and old with women hanging all over you. Hey, Hugh.
So could Tony Soprano.
Oh, how does that work?
Something to do with the money.
Women like power, Don.
They power and money? Well, money is power.
Money.
May I say,
Yes, you may.
not in a shy way. Yeah, I could have hung with Elvis.
I know you could. Just the cast off. I would take the cast
I would
off.
have carried his briefcase,
No doubt about
his
that.
suitcase.
Helped him
I
off
would have
the-
carried his cape for him.
Yeah, helped him off the throne.
Here we go. Shut up, Don. You're ruining the song. This is like Shakespeare, Don.
It is Shakespeare.
Except Shakespeare's free.
I took the blow.
And did it your
I
way.
took the sanction. You know what? It's fun. You know, it's funny when you don't like the song.
Oh, I like
it's really
the
funny when TC don't like the song.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a great song. It's a lovable song. We just we can't afford to play the whole thing.
Oh, is that the
Oh,
problem?
okay.
Yeah.
Humor.
There's a legal issue there.
A man and a woman were sitting beside each other in the first class section of the airplane. The woman sneezed, took a tissue, gently wiped her nose, then visibly shuddered for 10 to 15 seconds. The man went back to his reading. A few minutes later, the woman sneezed again, took a tissue, wiped her nose, and then shuddered violently once more. Assuming that the woman might have a cold, the man was still curious about the shuddering. A few minutes passed when the woman sneezed yet again. As before, she took a tissue, wiped her nose, her body shaking even more than before. Unable to restrain his curiosity, the man turned to the woman and said, I couldn't help but notice that you've sneezed 3 times, wiped your nose, and then shuddered violently. Are you okay? I'm sorry if I disturbed you. I have a very rare medical condition. Whenever I sneeze, I have an orgasm. The man, more than a bit embarrassed, was still curious. I've never heard of that condition before, he said. Are you taking anything for it? The woman replied, pepper.
That was funny. That's funny. For those of you who got it, that was funny. Keep the sneezing coming.
That's a good one, baby.
Yes, it was.
We promise we're only the best jokes. By the way, this is interesting. I've had a lawyer told another lawyer in my office that he gets my joke every day. And this is a guy that I'm not really super close to or anything. And he says he enjoys them.
Yes, I like that.
Bulldog Nation. You know, the ever-ending expansion of Bulldog Nation. You know, one day we'll be truly global, Don.
I hope so.
Truly global. Shakespeare. Can you imagine the Chinese laughing at Bulldog Nation jokes as they're interpreted in Mandarin?
That would be funny.
Shakespeare for your day. Ignorance is the curse of God. Knowledge is the wing wherewith we fly to heaven.
Hit it on the nose. Hit it on the nose.
That's a perfect song to follow Elvis. I don't know why we use this word today, but it's flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted sometimes at your behavior in the studio.
I'm thrilled with your behavior.
Flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. Jack Wagons today, I decided Obama did so many boneheaded things yesterday that I got to Jack Wagon up Obama. I could do it every day.
Yeah, you do, don't
But
you?
as we unveil politics, everyone will realize that he deserves his Jack Wagon. Let me give you an example. He said on a video that he created 22 million jobs. He was only off like 22 million.
Is that all?
Joanne Searles, she's the bus driver. She's been sanctioned and suspended. You know, the one that crashed at the news conference. Joe Biden, he did it again. God, why is he always wrong? He voted against the bin Laden raid.
No, he didn't.
He did. Yeah, he voted against going in Pakistan and getting bin Laden.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah, he did. Now, first of all, if you did, why would you admit that?
I would never.
Why would you tell everybody about it? And I also Jack Wagon up John McCain because John McCain doesn't want there to be more debates. He wants less debates. So when you think about it, what a lineup. Obama, Joanne Searles, Biden, and McCain. And by the way, we've got to follow that rule about discussing other things, but those other things seem to be in love with Oracle status. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know
that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. In other words, there's something else that's talking about us, if you know what I mean.
Notice that.
Oracles today, Thomas Massey threw in his hat, which is an expression that we got from TR, as the candidate for the 4th Congressional District. And as the commander and leader of Bulldog Nation, I'm for Thomas Massey. And we're also going to give Oracle status to Paul Ryan, who everything that comes out of that man's mouth is just common sense, baby. A little bit of history yesterday. 1835, a paranoid schizophrenic named Richard Lawrence tried to assassinate Andrew Jackson. He fired 2 pistols. Neither one worked. And then Jackson beat the hell out of him with a cane.
Jackson was a tough guy.
Guy's a tough dude, baby. Hey, Glenn Beck, Andrew Jackson his ghost could kick your ass.
Can you imagine Ronald Reagan going after, what was that guy's name? The guy that shot him?
Oh, Hinckley?
Yeah, and just whooping on him, you
Just
know.
whooping on him, baby.
This one's for the Gipper.
A little
The
redneck
crowd
chuckle.
Reagan off of.
I got a picture, so I had to just caption. Think of two fat rednecks sitting on the porch, okay? Bellies hanging out, and here's the caption. I bought me a case of beer and drank it all by myself.
Yeah, you can throw that one in the trash.
Are you ready for some pop culture?
Why not?
I need to culturize you.
Yes, I need all the culture I can get.
Now, the first one, you're going to enjoy, and I just don't get it. There's rumors that Mark Anthony and J-Lo may reunite. Now, after they each have sex-crazed break and reunion, J-Lo's all over the place with that kid named Casper getting boinked. I mean, all this stuff, and then they're going to get back. Now, I would say, I'm sorry, honey. I'm not going to take you back after Casper has violated you. Now, you would say, come on back, J-Lo.
See, I can let her go have her fun, get her a ring. All she needs is another ring. She comes right back to you.
No.
Solve
These
the problem.
celebrity weddings, it's all PR.
That's all it is.
Allen Iverson had his bank account garnished. He only owes a jeweler. He's got a worse habit than Clarissa Gingrich. $859,000
For jewelry.
That's a lot of bling, baby.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of bling.
Really.
Oh, and they had to fight to get their money back?
When we come back, we have Halle Berry. Look at Glenn. I mean, not Glenn. I called you Glenn. Look at Don get all excited.
Yeah.
Paula
eyes open up.
Abdul.
Yes.
Stallone's wife. On Real Talk 1160. Like a rock, Don. Like a rock. Eric Deters, the Bulldog. Can we play that for 30 seconds, TC, without getting in trouble?
That we can do.
Barracuda. Heart. No Barracudas in here. That means no sanctions.
Is that right?
We want to thank Alex and Lori and Tina and Patty for staying away. You know, they're not taking it very well.
Now, if we're going to play the song for 30 seconds, you're going to talk over the whole thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Every day you say, listen to the words, listen to the words.
Those of you who don't know this, the TC wears many hats, along with being the producer. He's the associate program director and is technically our boss, but we usually ignore him.
You know what?
Yes,
I didn't see that title on my paycheck. I didn't see that headache.
That's because they don't pay anymore for the title. Should have had me negotiate that contract.
Good point. Good point.
I get paid more than everybody at the station put together.
More than every attorney here.
Oh, by the way, major news announcement. I need to do a press release on this because I think it's news. The television stations and the Inquirer better cover this. I made the decision. I am consolidating my law offices in this building.
That decision, that's a firm.
The carpet's being picked out. The paint's going up. The lease is being signed.
Everything's going in the works, huh?
Look out, Cincinnati. The Bulldogs moving downtown.
When is the opening day?
It'll be about 30 days from now. Then we'll do another news conference. You got to work it. You announce it when you're doing it. Then you announce it when you move in.
Would Channel 19 do a...
You may not realize this, but I'm a PR.
You are a PR
kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
You know, the mayor of Cincinnati is having a news conference today.
Is anybody going to go? Does anybody care? Is it about the streetcar? By the way, I understand the Buffalo streetcar was like a big disaster.
All
Really?
streetcars are disasters, but the one in San
Not
Francisco...
surprised.
I wonder if Mark Mallory. I mean, he has to because I know Mallory's listening. Mallory has to know some things I've said about him, just based upon where I've said them over the last several years. I wonder if I went up to him and said, "Hi, Mayor." But see, I'm not a phony. I'm not the kind of guy to go act like I'm going to be his buddy. If you guys would be quiet for a minute, I'd like to promote a couple more sponsors.
Why not?
Cafe Mediterranean, Edgewood Spine and Chiropractic, Gessling Grocery, Golden Diamonds, Grandview Tavern, and last but not least, Green Water.
Okay.
You got a Green Water for us yet? No, he's on the phone. Okay. Finishing up pop culture here. Halle Berry. Where does she find these dudes, Sensible Don?
That's a good
This
question.
guy named Gabriel Aubrey, and they got a daughter together. He's in anger management. Man, or does she just bring out the worst in men?
She drive me crazy.
I mean, she brought out some stuff out of old Billy Bob.
Yes,
She brought some stuff out of Billy Bob. Paula Abdul says she won't return to the X Factor. Like, big deal.
Oh, okay.
Stallone's wife, Jennifer Flavin, and I have to admit, I'm sorry. She looked a little transvestite in the picture I saw. Some women look transvestite. Yes, it looks like it could go either way, like that XY chromosome didn't know which way to go. Anyway, she may join the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Why?
I don't ask me. Like Stallone doesn't have enough money. Like, why do you do that stuff?
Take care
like
of him?
Me, on the other hand, oh my God, if reality television was on me yesterday, oh my God. Weekend movies. I didn't have time to put this in yesterday because it was a crowded blog. Number one was The Gray, $20 million. Liam Neeson, baby, killing wolves with his bare hands.
Liam Neeson.
Underworld with Kate Beckinsale. Them things I think about her, I'd get sanctioned for. $12.4 million. One for the Money. That's Katherine Heigl. $11.8. Red Tails, only $10.4. By the way, how can they get away with saying that this is the first version of the Tuskegee Airmen when it's not?
It's not true.
They've already done the movie once.
That movie won once.
And then Man on a Ledge, which is me every day, brought in $8 million. Did I tell somebody to call in as a guest?
I believe so.
No, wait a minute. I got a text this morning. This Kevin Richardson dude was going to come in. I think give him 10 minutes on the radio. And he said no. So then I get a text, and he's got somebody else calling in.
Oh.
And I didn't even agree to this. I did not even agree to this.
I didn't know anything about it.
But you know what's sensible, Don?
I'm listening.
Because of the kind of guy I am, I'm going to take the call.
Okay, take it.
Bill, say something witty or wise, and I just want to let you know that your friend and mine, Kevin, did not tell me you were going to call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we thought we had an email there. Then I rang the phone, and it just didn't anyone answer.
Well, it's all right, Bill, because, you know, some things, we can stop discussing pop culture for a moment to discuss some important issues in the community. So, Bill, the microphone is all yours. Promote away what your cause is, your good cause.
Our good cause is taking care of Kentucky's abused, neglected, and victimized kids. We've been doing it since 1869 and do it all over Kentucky. But that's not the point.
What's the name of the organization?
The name of this organization is Sunrise Children's Services.
All righty.
And the point that I want to make with you today is I know there's been some publicity recently, unfortunately, about some child fatalities and near fatalities.
Yeah, we've had a bad one over here in Hamilton County, man.
Yes, that's right. And we've had them in western Kentucky. A little girl named Amy Dye was bludgeoned to death after reports of abuse and neglect made to.
I saw that.
The point I want the general public to understand is this is a much larger problem than most people are aware of. And the child welfare system in Kentucky is broken, and it needs to be fixed. And we continually hear from legislators that there's no money. Well, we understand that the times are tight, but there is money. What we've got to do is we've got to prioritize our spending. It's more important to help save the lives of these kids and put a good child welfare system in place than it is to build new universities in the state or other issues that sometimes get a higher priority with our kids. We got kids who are suffering, who are dying, and the ones that are in our care sometimes have been placed multiple times, as many as 20 times, and they still haven't found a place of permanency. And that's because the system has let them down.
Bill, let me tell you something. Every single time I hear on the news, I read in the newspaper, or I'm personally aware of some type of cruel, mean act towards a child of any age, I always, every single time, I cannot help but think of it, the biblical quote where Jesus spoke about that anyone is going to injure a child, they would be better to have a millstone thrown around their neck and thrown in the ocean than what faces them. And, I watched my daughter, my granddaughter, Riley, who's about 9 months old yesterday. And my goodness, there is not a more precious soul than this little girl crawling around, having a good time, smiling, happy. And I got a theory. My theory, Bill, is that a happy baby is a happy toddler is a happy child is a happy teenager, and so forth and so on, and becomes a happy adult. And when things are done to children, when they intentionally and unintentionally, when they live in abusive situations, and it destroys their innocence, and it destroys their life, and it takes away their happiness. And you hear about these terrible things like Marcus Feisel, being locked in a closet, and the things that have happened to these kids. Man, it makes me mad. It disgusts me. And so I think your cause, it's easy to strike a chord with humanity.
Well, it is, and you said it very well for me. The thing about it is,
I get paid to do that, Bill.
You're only a child once, and if you miss those mystery, innocent years of feeling safe and secure,
that's right,
and having some guidance.
Number one job for a parent is to make your child feel safe.
Make them feel safe. Give them the guidance that they need. Discipline appropriately. Give them guidance, and that's what these kids don't get. And what happens is, we want to try and shortcut them on the services up front. And then what happens? They end up on welfare rolls, or they're homeless, or they're incarcerated, or they're a drain on society rather than being a contributor to society.
Is there any billionaire, Bill? I mean, I know that Bill Gates, his thing is immunization. Is there any billionaire out there that helps fund these type of programs? Because if there's not, there ought to be.
Well, there should be. If I knew who he was, I'd be calling him rather than you. But no, I'm serious. I'd be calling both. We need support. If you want to know more about our organization, you can
go ahead. How should people get a hold of you? Give us the information.
Go to sunrise.org, www.sunrise.org, or you can call toll free 800-456-1386. That's 800-456-1386. Now, there are a lot of ways to get involved. We're getting ready through a group of providers in Kentucky called the Children's Alliance to have a bill before the legislature that would address some of these problems. And what I may have that do once we get that bill in place, I may have my friend Kevin call you back, Bulldog, and say, hey, here's the bill number, and you guys need to look it up and get behind getting this thing passed.
Well, let me tell you what I'll do. I'll do anything I can, Bill, and email me. Email me all the information. I think I've got it from Kevin, but email it to me again, and I'm going to put it on my blog and newsletter tomorrow, and I'll promote it. I'll keep it on my newsletter for a while. Okay, Bill?
As soon as we get the bill number, I'll send it to you, Bulldog, but I appreciate the time, and I appreciate you being a advocate for kids.
You guys are Oracle status on Real Talk 1160.
If you want to talk sports, talk to Jeff, Rick, and Jay. The other guys are on this afternoon from 5 to 7 on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. You know what, Sensible Don? This happens in my line of business, that these people bring to me their cases, all right? And on medical malpractice cases, I will spend money on a nurse to review it. Then I will spend money on a doctor to review it. I have this one guy brings me his case, and he acts like he's my buddy, right? I have a nurse review it, thinks it might be a case. I spend money on a surgeon. Surgeon says, nope, but you might try this kind of surgeon. So I spent money on another surgeon. So I got two surgeons I spent my cash on, okay? I tell the guy, I said, listen, man, struck out twice. My money, had it reviewed, and he acts like I'm the bad guy.
Absolutely.
And he sends me texts. This is funny. He sends me texts with exclamation points. So I mock him, and I call him Mr. Exclamation Point.
Why do you start these conflicts with these people?
I don't start any conflict. I just don't put up with crap. Can you imagine that? I spend my money
out of your pocket,
having his case reviewed, and he wants to be mad at me.
Yeah, it's nothing there. It's nothing there. Simple as that. And he probably knows it's nothing there.
Let's do sports.
Why not?
Let's do sports. Super Bowl ads, Don. They now roll them out early to get the buzz going.
Yes.
Including one with Matthew Broderick renewing his role as an aged Ferris Bueller.
Right. Yeah.
Bueller. Don't you love the principal in that movie? God, that principal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Rooney.
God. He plays such a perfect character. Mr. Rooney.
Nobody got shot at killing that. I didn't look at that.
I love the movie Ferris Bueller. He's my hero.
He might be. I've never looked at anything like
Every time I drop a car off at a one of those valet parking. I always think of that movie. That dude took off in that car.
You trusted your truck to a valet?
Yeah, I have a major announcement. This Friday, we have, as part of our Super Bowl coverage, which we never do, in studio, Tom Dinkle.
Dinkle will show?
And Doug Pelfrey.
Pelfrey's going to show?
We're going to see if two former Bengal players know more about football than you and me, Don.
Oh, absolutely.
I doubt if they do. I doubt if they do.
I got a question.
Now, there's a guy that could be a spokesman for our Greenwater halftime show.
Dinkle or Pelfrey?
Both of them, if we could get them.
But all I know is this, seriously. Dinkle and Pelfrey, two great dudes, man.
Oh, Dinkle.
Dinkle, man, he is awesome. And Pelfrey's awesome. His Kick for Kids, great organization.
Sitting next to Tom at that dinner. That's the first time I met the guy. When we sit there, just like talking to my brother. The guy's just that nice.
Absolutely.
Really
good
nice
guy.
Oh,
you know what? He's one of those gentle giants.
Yes.
Do you believe that one guy at Ruby's was trying to encounter him?
Yeah.
And he finally turned around and said, all right, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And be like, I'm not doing nothing.
I'm going about my business now.
You know, I told Dinkle all the time because, I was into martial arts, and I did my MMA cage fight. You know what? I don't care what I got. Those pro football players are so big. I could go, yeah, with my best kick, my best punch, and they'd be like, what?
Is that all you got?
They'd be SWAT. I mean, you know what? There's no substitution for size and brawn.
That's right. And Dick was in good
Did you
shape.
see that
Now,
cheerleader?
Bruce Lee, I mean, somebody as good as Bruce Lee, okay, I'd take Bruce Lee against any pro football player, but not the Bulldog.
There's a cheerleader at Georgia. There's a picture of her. Maybe you Google, you can find this. I mean, she looks like
Muscle woman?
Oh, yeah. And she's cut. She won't take steroids, though, but she just wants to be the
That's
strongest.
what they
or whatever.
all say.
Yeah, they sure say that.
Speaking of steroid takers, Danica I don't know if she does. Danica Patrick will be in the Daytona 500.
Explain something to me.
By the way, there's nothing in sports, man.
But yeah, when you start to talk about her, she won one race?
You know what? You don't need to win if you look like Danica Patrick.
Oh, I got the point.
College basketball tonight. My UK Wildcats host Tennessee at 7 p.m. on ESPNU, and the Xavier Musketeers are at George Washington, 7 p.m. CBS Sports Regional. And pro basketball, Heat 109, New Orleans 95. And by the way, the Clippers 112, Oklahoma 100. Old Paul and Griffin are doing a 1-2 punch with the Clippers. Kobe's getting worried.
Hey, you like basketball, don't you?
Kobe's getting worried.
Why would he get worried? This old lady took everything and gone. What is that to worry about now?
Let me see.
The worrying's over.
You know what? I am loyal.
Yes, you are.
So I will never jack wagon you up. TC maybe. No,
Maybe.
TC, I wouldn't jack you up. I would never
You already have.
I would never jack wagon Chuck up, even if he deserved it. Any of my wife, family. I mean, you know what? There's a reason why family, like even if somebody kills somebody, their family and their mom's in the front row because they're still family. Now, I love my son, Parker, okay? I love the kid. And there'll be some people that say I shouldn't say this on the air, but I am. But I'm not going to jack wagon him up for it, okay? Now, my son, he didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. He's thinking about art school. He's thinking about going to Thomas More to play football, and he wants to go to art school. He's finally made up his mind. And I'm not pushed him. I've not pushed him. You know, he's got his whole life ahead of him. So this year, I've let him work, and he has worked. And he works out. He works and works out. I mean, you ought to see the guy. He's kind of cut. He'd be a great linebacker at Thomas More. In fact, because he's 19, he'd be like a 24-year-old senior. Hell, he might go pro. Man, I'm not kidding you. Parker is like in super-duper shape. All right, well, his latest job is he helps at the office. I mean, we have a lot of deliveries to make, runs to make, filings to make, and everything else. And the morning's kind of hectic. So things don't need to get going until like 11 a.m. So I tell Parker, just come in every day at 11 a.m. and you can work for the rest of the day. You don't need to get there early. Kind of fits his lifestyle. You know what I mean? 19-year-old kid can stay up late.
Right.
Yesterday, he shows up 30 minutes late. I said, son, you just showed up 30 minutes late to a job that you start at 11 a.m.
How does that work?
I said, how did that work? He goes, you think that's being responsible? He goes, well, Dad, I ran 3 miles instead of 2.
Okay.
I said, you know what, son? That's not a good excuse. You get up a little earlier.
It took him an extra 30 minutes to run that extra mile?
No, it was just that he went running. But can you imagine that?
No, poor
30 minutes late.
But
sorry to humiliate you in public, Parker.
Isn't there a conflict that football, art, I mean, it don't mash.
Football and art?
Yeah.
It makes. Look at the Dhani Jones.
Yeah.
He's kind of an artistic but tough dude.
Yeah,
look at me. You know, you may not realize this, but I'm a painter and a poet too.
Why do people say things like
Hickory, dickory?
The mouse fell down the clock.
I do. Hey, by the way, for Valentine's Day, I'm going to share some good stuff.
You are.
I once wrote a whole line of Hallmark cards. I should have submitted them. General news. We have 3 items. Alaska, it's 80 below.
Oh, that's good.
Breaking a record.
It's there.
Occupiers in Oakland, this mayor once said they were good.
No,
not anymore. 400 arrested.
Oh, they put a whooping on one of them.
By the way, the only city in America where the occupiers have a foothold, Oakland. Now, this is a good topic of conversation. Obama versus the Catholic Church. There is a federal rule which is requiring faith-based employers to include birth control and other reproductive services in their health care coverage. The mandate exempts churches but applies to Catholic universities, Catholic-based charities, and to groups affiliated with Methodists, Baptists, and other denominations. I'm thinking about the Muslims. It includes birth control, sterilization, and morning after pills covered. The issue, Sensible Don, is not what a Catholic may or may not do anyway. I mean, yeah, I'm sure Catholics are taking birth control. The issue is the Catholic Church right not to offer this. And you know what? They should sue. Duh. There was just a Supreme Court case last month that ruled faith-based employers have a different standard relative to discrimination claims.
They should.
So I'm thinking to myself, the same logic applies to this.
Absolutely.
In other words, you may or may not agree with this, but the issue is, how do you make the Catholic Church offer medical insurance that covers things that go completely against their faith?
They should not be forced to do that.
Another reason why mandated health coverage is insane.
It's stupid. Super stupid.
People wonder why I jacked up Obama. Here's another example. I got like 20 more coming.
Is that all?
You know what, Sensible Don?
What?
I may not be as good a Catholic as Charlie Deters or Bernie Kunkel, but I am a Catholic, and I shall defend my Pope, my faith, and my church on all fronts.
I agree with you.
On Real Talk, 1160. Oh, my God, that promo's too funny.
That was good.
That's good.
That was real good.
See, new program director doesn't mess around, does he?
Robert Williams, that was good.
Put that one together, didn't it?
As long as my wife doesn't hear it.
Oh, she's awake. She's on the phone.
Oh, gotta ask you, Bulldog.
Yes.
You practice in Florida, don't you?
Yes, I do.
10 people killed on the expressway, numerous people injured because somebody set a fire down there, and the highway patrol closed the place and opened it back up. Could you handle that case?
I could handle that case.
Call who?
I'd be happy to handle that case.
And they need to call you where? 513?
859-250-2527 or eric@ericdeters.com. And did you know what I say? If you don't hire me to be your lawyer, you're stupid.
That's right. You're absolutely stupid. Ain't no doubt about that. Ain't no doubt about that.
Because I'm the best in town. Here we go, Don. We got to promote IntelliChoice Insurance. Kurtzman Plastic Surgery, he's our buddy. Yes, Meyer, Montgomery Inn, they're our buddies too. And Pee-wee's.
Pee-wee's coming.
Pee-wee's. I want to read a little bit of fan mail. I think it's important. This is from Linda McCulley. I'm so happy you decided to clear the studio. I listen because you are interesting and funny. Don compliments you, provides input on history and politics, and has a great laugh. TC provides the one-liners. I look forward to enjoying the core group. I like the funny, intelligent, thought-provoking banter, facts, and discussions. I look forward to the newsletter on days when I can't listen. Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Now, how do you like that?
That's right.
We like her on Facebook,
Yes,
don't we?
sir.
Then also, there was a fundraiser at Jim and Jack's that we helped promote, and they said it was packed and stacked, and they want to thank us for the worthy cause.
You're definitely welcome.
Now, we were told by Robert Williams, our program director,
You got that name right now.
to make sure we mention the local stuff. So here we got it. Pretty tricky. Burglars have been passing themselves off as Duke workers and robbing people. So when you see the Duke worker out there, shoot him and ask questions
Get it over
later.
with. Right. Come pick him up.
Pretend he's a census worker.
Just pretend he's a burglar. Sorry, Duke. Duke's going to be suing me now.
Yes.
Now, you will need a harsh penance for this. This ex-Sunday teacher, Daniel Webster, it's a shame that bears the name of a great senator.
Yeah, really.
Was arrested on accusations he performed sex acts on a teen who attended his classes. Man, you're going straight to hell.
Straight. That basement in hell.
Casino collapse. Steel beams were fabricated by a Jackson, Mississippi firm and installed by J&B Steel Erectors, Inc. of Westchester is where the focus seems to be. And I understand from an inside source I have, some beams required 6 bolts, and they only had 2.
Wow.
Oh.
Jerome Simpson, we've already reported this. He pled guilty. Let me just tell you what's going down, and I've heard other legal commentators.
Not guilty.
Okay.
But not guilty.
I'm going to tell you something, and I know it's lawyers, okay? Good lawyers. I'm telling you right now, they don't care about Jerome. They care about this big fish. And Jerome, the fact that Jerome's not in federal court and he's over there in Kenton County court and he's pleading guilty to 1 count of marijuana possession over 8 ounces, a felony, Jerome Simpson will not serve a day in jail, and there's going to be big fish fried.
They looking for him.
And when they asked him about it, what did he say?
Wasn't me. By the way, did you see the paper yesterday? This lawyer said he was in the shower when the package delivered.
Yeah.
He didn't touch it.
Didn't know
It was
anything about
never
it.
in his possession.
Right, right.
It's always a race to the prosecution.
Always.
I'm getting that first. I'm getting the best deal.
By the way, Burr, his lawyer, Burr Travis, his lawyer, my buddy, he calls me Mr. Chairman ever since I was chairman of the Republican Party. Swear to God. Burr in the crowd. How you doing, Mr. Chairman? He's my buddy. And listen to this. I gave $1,000 to Governor Beshear, a Democrat, because Burr asked me to. I said, okay, Burr, I'll give him $1,000. But I'm glad I did it because now I'm all those Obama email lists and I get all these Democratic insider stuff.
Make your show better.
That's right. So thank you, Burr. And I've not asked for a single favor. I should demand, hey, Burr, will you tell Governor Beshear to appoint me to something?
It sounds good. You have to save all your favors. You will need them down the road.
I know it. A Powerball ticket worth $1 million was sold at Rimke's in Taylor Mill. Did our news team get that?
Were you there, TC?
I knew that.
Good job,
I knew that.
TC. You knew that.
Worth $1 million.
The Lakefront Lines bus driver, Joanne Searles, 48, of Madisonville, was cited by Cincinnati police for improper change of course. I could get cited for that every day.
Every day.
when she hit the casino press conference. Ohio votes beginning today. You can vote absentee for Super Tuesday, March 6th. So if you're an Ohio guys, vote away.
What do you think about the absentee vote?
I think it's a good thing.
Why not?
It's deliberate, all that.
Right.
The only problem is if you vote early, you might change your mind.
That's true.
You might change your mind.
And certain do now.
Now, we have to jack-wagon this guy up, our final local news item. Do you know how Derek McDine, Sensible Don, and TC got busted for burglarizing an accountant's office?
What did Daryl do?
What's in your wallet?
He dropped his wallet on the way out.
Come and get me. Here it is. If
Now-
you can't follow this lead.
Now, I could make fun of him, but I just want to admit something. You know, I've said I'm a sinner and not a saint. I once did a juvenile thing, okay? Nobody got hurt, nothing bad, okay? And I left something behind, too.
Is it still
And
there?
I remember being told, I'm like, oh, my God. Now, it wasn't like a wallet, but still. So, you know what? We ought to have some sympathy for these burglars.
No.
Sometimes it happens. By the way, no, I did not commit a burglary.
Well, that's good. There was a story about one bank robber a few years back. He wrote a note to a teller on the back of one of his own deposit slips.
Well, I'm not going to mention his name, but a lawyer friend of mine once defended a bank robber who taped his note to the teller, putting his nice, good old thumbprints down on the tape as he pressed the tape down.
Oh, you can't figure this out. Oh, we had a robbery of one of our buses where the guy broke into the vault. The bus driver said he knew nothing about it. The police came and tracked his footprints from the front of the bus back to where the car was parked and locked him up.
Jeez, old Pete.
His footprint in the snow. In the shoe. Let me see your shoe, guy.
Footprints in the snow.
From the front of the bus back to the car, back to the bus.
Good golly. Good golly.
Come here. Let me lock you up.
This day, me and my buddy that was with me, we're gonna go to our grave with our secret. We laugh our butts off, and at the same time shudder at thinking what jackwagons we were.
What secret is that?
Now I'll tell it on my deathbed, Don.
You've been on your deathbed. Did you tell it then?
No, it happened after that.
Oh, so you got bad after that.
You see, now that's why our prisons are overcrowded. We have too many dumb criminals.
You're right.
We need more or better educated criminals, I guess.
Obama's 2008 speech, they've been playing it a lot. You know, on Bush's debt increase, he called it unpatriotic.
Yes.
His is worse than Bush's. So what's his? I mean, did you see me railing in 2008? Him increasing the debt $5 trillion. It's unpatriotic.
It's definitely unpatriotic now.
How do they not eat these words?
Well, a little different now. The tables have turned. Shoes on the other foot.
That's right.
Cliche.
The big news today is the Florida vote. Romney begins wrapping up the nomination today. Bulldog Nation Radio calls the race. First, Romney wins Florida.
Did you call it?
We've called it first.
Okay.
Romney has won Florida.
Oh, it's so weird.
605,000 have already voted. They expect 2 million total to vote. The polls open at 7 a.m. and they close at 8 p.m. Romney has spent 5 times the amount as Newt. Romney's victory party is in Tampa, and Newt's in Orlando. Let me tell you how bad the economy is, okay? My dad's Florida Bank down there. They had a condo that they financed, and it was like $500,000 in Tampa, St. Petersburg, a really nice condo. And I could have bought it. I don't know why I didn't, for $200,000.
Why not? Wow. You need a place in Florida.
$500,000 fully furnished condo. Well, there's going to be plenty down there later.
Well,
I don't have time to go to Florida yet.
I'll go down there for you. I'll go pick it up for you.
Can it get any worse for Newt?
No.
He's now been sued for using Eye of the Tiger since 2009 without permission.
That's Stallone's?
No, man, you shouldn't use that, Newt. No, man, you shouldn't use it.
Well, you should have known better. Remember when...
kind of like somebody would use like...
Born in the USA?
No, What is Life? Like George Harrison, maybe too much. You know?
Well, Reagan used Born in the USA, and Bruce Springsteen called him up and said, stop it.
Right.
Cut it out.
Stop right now.
Right now. Cease and desist.
Romney is in full-blown mocking of Newt.
No,
he's going, and Newt's blood's got to be, he's going, it's sad. Newt's going, it's sad. You just got to shake your head. I mean, Newt's got to be wanting to throw down.
Can I have some money?
And there's one thing that I do know, Newt could kick Romney's butt.
No doubt about it.
Because Newt looks like a sumo wrestler.
The Patriots are still going to win by 2 in Florida.
No.
Reuters poll, Romney 43, Newt 28, Santorum 12, Paul 5. But they're all going to fight all the way to the convention. When we come back, we're going to mock Obama some more. Imagine that. On Real Talk 1160.
Hey, don't worry if you miss your daily dose of radio superbity. You can catch a Bulldog. He has you covered with Bulldog Nation Podcast. They're up and running at realtalk1160.com. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. We're the only radio program in the tri-state that does a video cast, a podcast, and has 2 black guys and a white guy.
Yo.
You don't know that for sure, though.
They don't let... that is not true. He's my buddy. Lincoln Ware was my buddy in my time of need. I love Lincoln Ware. But Lincoln Ware does not have a white guy on his show.
See, Lincoln's falling down.
How do you know that?
We just know, TC, and if not, it's a good guess. Reincarnation Auto Body. Robke Automotive, by the way, a celebrity, an athlete celebrity I sent to Robke Automotive yesterday. Snappy Tomato Pizza, Tickets Entertainment Complex, Ultimate Air Shuttle, and Window World.
I got
some
something
more
to say
plugs.
got something to say about Ropke. Been
All right.
shopping around for tires for my car. My tires are awful big. They're awful expensive. I shopped around and I called John Big. John, can you give me some tires? Besides Don, he called me back. Don, this is the number. I said, that can't be right. I mean, this is too cheap. He said, this is the number, Don. Bring the car over. $100 difference.
John Bick
Per tire.
rhymes with slick.
That's right. John's taking care of me, Slick. Thanks, John.
Did you hear this? Obama did a Google interview, Sensible Don.
No, he didn't.
And there was a woman on there that asked a question, and she was explaining to him that her husband was out of work. And Obama said, well, what is he? She said, he's an engineer. And Obama was expressing bewilderment and amusement and like not believing that he couldn't find work. It was hilarious. He's kind of like, well, you know, are you sure? Kind of like, well, he ought to be able to find work.
He's an engineer.
I mean, it's like, come on, man. Obama is clueless.
The only way an engineer is going to find work in this economy is if he's doing shovel-ready projects and making the shovels.
Well said, TC.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Do you have a green water for us yet?
This portion of Bulldog Nation brought to you by Green Water. Green Water. Now enjoy great tasting, slimy living green water 2 ways. Original recipe and extra crispy. Both with 11 herbs and lices. Available at Queen Kick.
That's some good stuff, man.
Herbs and lices. I like that.
Guys, it never ends on this green energy bit. You know, Obama's saying to hell with fossil fuels. I'm doubling down. Let me see. We've lost $118 million on Inert. Inert 1 declared bankruptcy. Now it's reported that Flextronics Industrial, a Singapore solar panel manufacturer that partnered with Amonix, 18 million lost, laid off its 300 employees this week.
Wow.
I tell you right now, they are in La La Land.
Yes, they are.
La La Land. The moon, you know, Newt.
Please.
Come on, man. Moon colony, statehood after 13,000 residents. People wonder why Newt's crashing. Maybe it's not just the 5 times the amount of money Romney has. Come on. Okay, you know, wanting to be on the moon, I can say, okay. Colony, statehood.
Why not?
Good golly.
After all that,
I'm going to go to the moon and run for governor. I'm governor of the moon. The moon beam.
There's no gravity there.
Good golly. Come on, Newt.
Newt grasping for straws.
How about Sarah Palin? She's saying the establishment is crucifying Newt.
Yes, they are.
He's doing it all on his own.
That's a fact, Sarah. They are. They're destroying Newt.
By the way, this is funny. Newt's now going around saying that Soros claims Romney's just like Obama, and he can live with both of them. So, dude, why should you vote for Romney? Because George Soros is happy. By the way, after Florida, guess how many votes or delegates that Romney has for the election?
How many?
Only 3%. After Florida, it's like the election's over, and they've only chosen like 3 delegates.
That makes no sense.
Oh, by the way, if you don't think money counts, just think about this. Just think about this. You know, Newt wants to like campaign through Super Tuesday. Romney's going to have money on every one of those states, like Ohio. How does Newt get on a bus and visit all those places without money?
Not possible.
It's over. We've now declared, not only we've declared Florida, we've declared him the GOP nominee. And Kane, you know, our man Kane, what a jackwagon. We love the guy, but he screws up one thing after the other. He comes out and endorses the Titanic when it's sinking. I would like to just say that I would like to say the Titanic is a wonderful cruise line, or it's called the White Line, I think. That was, you know what, prejudicial. The White Star Line. I would like to endorse the White Star Line as the iceberg hits the ship. Great timing, Herman. Come on. Sarah Palin's at least smart enough to say, hey, honey, you endorse Newt, but man, I'm not going down with that shit.
You know, if you got to be destroyed, Bulldog, it's good to be destroyed by women.
And I'm still mad that Herman never called our show when he went to Westchester. We were loyal to him.
From day
he
one.
violated the Bulldog motto of loyal to loyalty.
No law. The guy didn't give it up.
By the way, I was told a secret yesterday.
Don't tell it, bro.
No, this is funny.
It was a secret yesterday.
Yeah, listen. I was told this secret yesterday. I'm asking you for some advice.
Okay, I'm listening.
And by the way, it was good news. But I was told this secret. And I was told, man, don't you tell nobody. You can't tell your wife. You don't tell nobody. But Sensible Don, doesn't a Godfather have to tell his underboss everything?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't I have to tell Chuck?
No.
I don't tell Chuck even?
You got to stay insulated.
Okay.
No.
So I don't even tell Chuck.
You have to tell the
Chuck.
underboss everything, because that's why Gotti ended up in prison, because the underboss turned on him.
So
That's right. Look, remember Sammy the Bull?
Chuck's gonna
Sammy the
turn
Bull.
on me?
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Chuck the Bull.
I'm toast. I'm toast.
No, you
He knows all the secrets. Come on now. Sammy the Bull knows where all the bodies are buried.
right.
You don't want to tell him anything.
So I got to whack Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck
Oh, no,
gotta
just
go.
keep him in the dark about a few
Keep
things.
you in the dark?
Chuck
Yeah.
gotta go.
What if Chuck listened to this show right now? I'm really screwed.
Yeah, you
He knows the whack's coming. Don't worry, Chuck. I'm not going to follow their advice. I got to share this one with you.
Chuck, don't worry. If you come in the office, there's no plastic on the floor.
But I'm not
you're
going to.
okay.
Hey, thank God I didn't share it with the buddy that broke up with me.
Oh, yeah, you've been a willing
Yeah.
trouble.
You would have had to whack him.
I would have to whack him.
Yeah.
Big wimp.
Never trust
What
him.
kind of guy tells you, don't bring your cell phone to lunch? It's distracting. I want to puke.
He wanted some quality time.
If Chuck said that to me, I'd say, what the hell's your problem?
Of all the things we talked about, that was absolutely the funniest. The guy called you to break up. I cried. I told her, she said, you what? I said, only the Bulldog.
You know. Now,
I was going to talk about Paul Ryan, but hell with him. Let's keep talking about this.
Now, this isn't right. See, Don's making light of this, and I understand this time of the year. A lot of guys have gone through breakups with their friends, and Super Bowl's coming up. They don't want to be alone at the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
Oh,
They're support. You don't want to sit and watch the commercials by yourself.
And what did he say when I offered him? And he goes, "It's not feeling it." What the hell?
Now, reality,
And then
that
we're
was that
supposed to have
day.
lunch every week. And he says, "Well, let's just not have lunch anymore." Okay, man. Thank God we didn't have any rings to exchange or anything back.
Yeah,
We didn't have any albums to give back and forth to each other.
If you've been on reality that day, it was shot right to the top, because that was just funny.
I got to cover a few things in the economic front, and this one is just too bad and too funny. The Federal Trade Commission announced a settlement of $2.5 million with a company for allegedly coercing borrowers into paying debts they no longer legally owe.
So they filed bankruptcy. They come after me. anyway.
So there's people that pay debts that they don't owe.
Again.
That company's good. I want that company collecting my bills.
Yes, please.
Mr. Johnson,
Can you collect
Mr.
this?
Johnson, you owe $1,000 to Greenwater. I don't think I do. I don't think I ever bought anything from Greenwater. Yes, you do. We got it right here. We got the statement. You owe Greenwater $1,000. Well, I don't think. Mr. Johnson, when are you going to pay this money or we're going to sue you? Can I make payments? Yes, you can make payments. $100 a month. Okay, where do I send the money to? Greenwater, New York, New York.
I like that.
People making payments.
After they
People making payments
you don't owe this money, but these people won't.
when they don't owe the money. They should be jackwagging in the debtors, not finding that company. They ought to get a blue ribbon for collections. When they have the big national convention of debt collectors, they're going to get the blue ribbon.
Be right there.
And we'd like to award Epic Collection Company. Man, they got people to pay that didn't even owe it.
There should be an Oscar for that, Collector of the Year.
I can't believe that.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Forrest Gump, say something witty or wise. And by the way, I got to give out the number because I keep forgetting to do it. 513-579-1160 if you want to say something superb. Go ahead, Forrest. Forrest?
Force? Yo.
Forrest.
Earth to Force. Earth
to Forrest.
Hey,
Buzzkill, Forrest.
We were going good there for a while. What happened?
Let me
slow.
Forrest is slow, isn't he? Mazda recalls 52,000 Tribute SUVs. Ouch, that's expensive.
Yes.
What happened there? They flip over, accelerate, no brakes. What happened? Bad tires?
I have no idea. But when we come back, we've got a story about a nitrous oxide kit in a car lawsuit. And I'm not making this up. Aunt Jemima frozen pancakes.
You can't say that.
Sensible Don, we're just too good.
Right, yeah, we are, but you can't say that.
We're the best.
I can say
We're oracles.
Yeah,
on Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. Bulldog Nation. This is appropriate. Kids, let's play this for 30 seconds. Thunderstruck. The all-time greatest football song. Don't you feel like hitting somebody when you listen to this?
No, I'm not a violent person. Body made for love.
Do you know I once had somebody so revved up listening to me on my rant, he called up and said he was so pumped up he wanted to go out and punch the mailman.
Poor mailman.
That's when you know you're stirring up passion. Bulldog Nation member Kenny says he wants an attaboy for Holy Cross and its sports teams. They've won the 2A football state championship, the girls All-A volleyball state championship, and the boys All-A basketball state championship.
School with some talent.
Principal Clay Eifert, who is a fellow Thomas More grad of mine, and he also is a cancer survivor. Yes, we did go to Thomas More together, and he married Lori May, now Lori Eifert. And we'll give the whole Holy Cross sports program an Oracle status. Now let's turn to legal matters.
Legal.
Got a couple interesting things. There was a fatal wreck in Oklahoma, and a mother has filed a lawsuit over the death of her 15-year-old son in a car crash. The boy was riding in the car with his friend, the suit says, who lost control of the vehicle while trying to pass other cars at a very high rate speed. And they say, well, come on, Bulldog, that happens all the time. Get this. According to the lawsuit, the car had been equipped with a nitrous oxide kit, which is not legal for use on public roadways. Kind of trying to play Fast and Furious, thinking he was dumb. Dumb. Can you imagine nitrous oxide in a car on a road?
And the car takes off.
He was trying to get to 9.98 gigawatts so we could make time travel possible.
I tell you right now, in all seriousness, car wrecks and people dying, man.
Oh, that's terrible.
I wonder why we don't wear helmets and pads and everything else. When you think about it, we get in these cars going 50, 60, 70 miles per hour, and we get in like little bumper cars at a amusement park, and you put on helmets.
Yeah, you bubble wrap.
You know what I'm saying?
And then now the motorcyclists are not required to wear helmets in most states.
Right.
Because they vote.
Now, there's a product recall, Sensible Don.
Which one?
Pinnacle Food Groups has issued a recall of several varieties.
Don't say green water. Don't say green water.
Aunt Jemima frozen pancakes due to the presence of an undeclared allergen. Hell, we got all kinds of declared allergens in green water. According to the cup, right there on the bottle, we declare these allergens.
Let me tell you what's going to kill you.
According to the company, the products may have been cross-contaminated with green water. With soy products.
Oh.
Now get this. There have been no reports of illness. Why do you recall something?
Nobody's complaining.
Or nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
CYA.
Oh, those are some good pancakes. Now let's go complain.
You know what I did for my daughter Erica for Christmas? It was like you had to make, whoever's name you got, you had to make something. I made her my chocolate chip pancakes and froze them so she could eat them every morning that she wants to.
Does she like them?
Everybody go, ah.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Speaking of pancakes.
I know it.
Yeah, wait a minute. No, we were supposed to have pancakes last week.
I will do it either tomorrow or Thursday.
Right,
Tom Dingle says he's bringing us donuts Friday.
Sweet.
Oh,
nice.
Good.
You know, that's important for Dingle because you can tell by looking at Dingle, he eats salads every day.
Yes, he does. Rock.
Dink's our guy. Good man. Bringing in donuts.
He's a darn good man.
Nice kid, too. The kid was with his son. Nice kid.
By the way, I wonder if our producer, Robert Williams, Chuck votes for that Andrew Jackson Ghost Could Kick Your Ass needs to be in a promo. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it feel good.
I come with some crazy stuff spur of the moment.
Yes, you do.
BlackBerry is taking a pounding in Europe. By the way, I still have my BlackBerry for all the phone numbers that I can't sync in my iPhone.
You can't get them out?
No. Showtime is gaining on HBO. Maybe it's because of... Oh, by the way, Shameless. Did you see Shameless this week?
Yeah.
Frontal nudity, ladies, they had male frontal nudity, if you want to see. And that guy's willy whacker looked weird, man.
Try Spartacus if you want to see some weird stuff.
Yeah, Spartacus.
Try Spartacus. A True Blood. They let it all out. No wonder the network said can't make it.
Some more economic news. Pep Boys. Why do they pick those three dudes? Is those like likeness of the founders of the company?
Must be.
Because why do they make them look like that? Because they look goofy and they little bobblehead dudes.
You ever had them do work on your car?
No.
They got the right people.
But they're being taken private, an equity firm, only $800 million.
Oh, that's always chump change.
I keep waiting for somebody to offer us $800 million to Snap. By the way, I want to take Snappy Tomato public. And my dad keeps outvoting me, and he controls the company.
He is the boss, right?
He's the boss.
All right. Simple as that.
We have no debt, Don. We have no debt. We have all these stores, all this revenue stream. We could raise a bunch of dough and still maintain control. See, you sell 40%, you keep 60%, you're still in charge.
Right. But not having debt, doesn't that make you a target for takeover orders?
Not if you're a private company.
Oh, they can't take you?
No. Public companies, you become a target.
But they can take your share. They come in off enough money. They put enough money on this desk.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if a company came over with a good offer, I'd say, oh, you can have
it. No problem.
Okay, you can have it.
How much?
Then I put all my how should I say, what I get out of it in gold.
That's what you won't go.
By the way, China, this is hilarious. China in 2010 bought over 200 tons of gold. This year, they've bought 400 tons of gold.
They like gold?
Come on, guys. Let me put this in concept, okay?
You can't.
A ton is 2,000 pounds.
You cannot.
So they have purchased 2,000 pounds of gold.
And we talking about ounces.
They say there's nothing. They're saying it's not a doomsday thing. They're just doing it to hedge inflation. So they claim.
You can't hedge inflation.
Gannett, which owns USA Today and the Enquirer. Gannett, excuse me. Thank you for correcting me. Gannett. Their profit drops 33%.
That's
Ouch.
bad news. That's bad news.
I think they're ready for a hostile takeover.
Yes,
Bulldog Nation is going to make a tender offer, $1 for each of their shares.
Now, you know they're going to create some scandal. That's going to be big news. It's going to occupy the news. It's going to be something really big, and that's going to get people to buy their papers more.
Who would ever do stuff like that? Radio stations.
Radio stations. Bulldog.
A bulldog. Scandals.
He would love to.
By the way, that promo about where I said that I did that on Facebook, you know there's people that went there to look.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt
I like
about
that punchline, and it looks good.
Rob did a good job. If you like it, he did a good job.
Starbucks is opening their first store in India, Sensible Don. India.
There's 1 billion people there.
There's a lot of people that drink a lot of coffee,
That's
man.
a whole bunch.
Do you drink Starbucks?
No, hot chocolate from there.
See, I don't drink coffee.
No, I don't drink coffee either.
I think it tastes terrible. There's a cappuccino.
It smells good, but it tastes terrible.
Yeah, I know.
And the aftertaste is, I don't drink coffee.
And they spin up. What is it? What's a $5, $6, $7 for a cup of coffee?
Yeah. But no, you could get 20 ounces
Wi-Fi.
for $2.
Free Wi-Fi. Okay. I explain it now. You get free Wi-Fi.
So you never drink coffee either, huh?
No.
Oh, your father drinks it.
Yeah, my dad drinks like 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
You know who's a big coffee drinker? TR. Drank. You no wonder he died at 68 years old. He drank a gallon of coffee a day. So when he's showing all that energy, it's kind of like, oh, yeah? You drink a gallon of coffee, I hope you can show some energy there, TR.
He was off the ground bouncing.
A gallon a day.
And it was strong stuff, too.
Oh, yeah. It was. Yeah, they didn't have cappuccinos.
No.
His bladder went on strike.
Gosh, can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine it. Coffee? Water's strong enough, but coffee?
Yep. Sensible Don, because we have been celebrating being alone again, naturally. Wasn't that a Leo Sayer song? Alone again, naturally. We've been probably hurting all the ladies' feelings.
Yes, you have.
That I forgot, but we used to do this more often, and I just have forgotten about doing it. Is that when a woman says something good or smart, some radio superbity, we give them a Tom Jones. So this is for all the ladies that we've been bashing that, what the heck.
In the 80s?
We might make them feel better for Tom Jones. And we will not play the whole song, will we, TC?
No. Can't afford it. We're investing that money in green water.
I like to dedicate this song to my wife, who has not sanctioned me today.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's weird. You haven't got home yet.
She's not up yet.
Let me just share something with the Bulldog Nation. You all might think I'm tough, bold, brash, smart, lawyer, talk show host. There's somebody that controls me.
Yeah, he goes home and get beat down every day. Yes, he does. And guess what? He laughs about it. I know how you feel, Bulldog.
Controls me.
He control, no doubt about it. And you know why?
I'm helpless.
No doubt about it.
She knows when to play the card.
Which
Lets me know who's boss.
That's the diamond card?
When we come back, we'll wrap up this radio superbity, as we do every day on Real Talk 1160.
Tonight, Simon Kitten will host Cooper in a rematch from earlier this season when Cooper took him. Pre-game coverage starts at 7:06 with Steve Jarnicki. Tip-off at 7:30 right here at Real Talk 1130. Now back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Dink says, thank God I don't drink coffee.
Oh, goodness.
By the way, this song right here reminds me of the Kenton County Fair as a teenager. They played it over and over again.
I bet you was a mess at the fair.
Gene Simmons.
Were you out of control when you went to the fair?
Nah, I was in control.
No.
I blossomed late, Don. When I was a teenager, I was pretty well behaved.
And the little short shorts didn't bother
Wait a
you.
minute. The same guy that got whacked in the head with a hammer by his dad?
By the way, I should have talked to that Sunrise guy about that. I just dropped a board on his foot. I could have called social service on old Charlie, wrecked his career. By the way, that's the bad thing about kids these days. They know about all these things.
Oh, they know the phone
It's like you're going to spank them. I'm going to
If you hit me, I'll write a book.
Especially if you got any fame at all, you know?
Right.
I'd like to be one of those famous people's kids.
So,
I'm calling TMZ.
So what did you do? Just pick up the board?
I'm going to tweet.
Get my own reality show.
Yeah.
What do you think of the chance we could get Dink to endorse green water?
I think we could get it done.
You think so?
I think we can get it done.
You know, our people are in negotiations with people who have actually worked at Graders and served Sarah Jessica Parker.
I heard that we're in negotiations with somebody that sat next to George Clooney in the third grade at Augusta.
Yeah. So
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Bill. I sat next to George Clooney in the third grade at Augusta, and I would just like to endorse green water. Clooney could never accuse us of using his name without his permission.
Exactly.
Because it's just a reference.
That's good. I like that.
I am a smart. It's good to have a lawyer as your partner.
Write that down.
Remember that. If you guys got any type of wonderful business out there that you'd like a partner, just call me. I'd be happy to be your partner.
If there's money to be made,
If there's money to be made, I want to be in. I want to be in.
That's it.
You know, I learned something, and this is fascinating. The Cincinnati Archbishop. I'm going to go back to this issue of birth control. Catholic hospitals, schools, and other institutions should not be required to cover birth control in their employee insurance plans, according to the Greater Cincinnati's Catholic leadership. We will not comply with this unjust law.
Shouldn't have to.
People of faith cannot be made second-class citizens. It's to go into effect 2013. Now, I admire that, and you know it's going to be interesting. I don't think you want to pick a war like this with the largest religious organization in the world. And you can say what you want about give to Caesar what is Caesar, give to God what is God. Bishops hold a special place, and they're powerful, and they're tough, and they're smart, and you don't want to be publicly battling a bishop. Now, don't get me wrong. The pedophile issue aside, you know, but I'm just telling you, it's a tough one.
But you fail to mention that they are very, very rich.
Of course they are.
And he don't want to pick battles at this time. I mean, he's getting ready to go back on the campaign trail.
Exactly. And you know what? This will hurt him. Even like the Catholics. Here's what happened. The Catholics that even like take birth control and all that are still going to be sympathetic to the church, not wanting the church to have to provide this in a mandated health insurance plan. So that if they think, and I heard another dingbat commentator say, if you get that money, duh, guess what? This is a private, faith-based institution who the Supreme Court's already weighed in once and said, sorry,
leave them alone.
You're not going to have the same discrimination laws apply. And in this situation, are you kidding? And, just think of the outrage. Just think of the outrage if this was Muslim community. You know what I'm saying? All the left wing would be up in arms, coming to defend the Muslim faith. Catholic faith. We're persecuted. We're persecuted.
You're right. Good. That's a good. I like that. Good point. You're right.
Because everybody always runs to that extreme, Muslims, because they want to have that, like they're defending the little guy.
It's like that one promo that we have running. The caller calls into Dr. Laura, to Laura Ingraham, slip of the tongue, and she's saying, why do we always conform to other people's ways, but they don't conform to ours here?
That's a great promo. I like that.
Yeah,
like we're supposed to always, be worried about what other people think. Right. What about when they come here?
Why not give the same? Yeah.
Can I promote that tonight? Simon Kenton 15-7 hosts Cooper 10-9, a rematch from earlier when Cooper down 42-37.
Yeah, this
must have been cold. Pre-game coverage starts at 7:06 with a tip-off at 7:30 tonight on Real Talk 1160.
Steve Jarnicki does the coaches show. You ever listen to Steve? This guy gets into it. He's pretty
Steve
good.
Jarnicki
Does a great job.
Steve Jarnicki needs to replace Joe Buck on Fox Sports. Have you ever heard a more monotone? I mean, the Giant, I mean, he is the same tone the whole broadcast.
Steve's 10 times better.
And Steve has a face for TV, too.
Right.
Yes, he does.
I don't get, I'm thinking of all the people. You got to know somebody. You got a last name Buck. You think of all the people that could do a better job than him, and you have him as your premier broadcaster. I'll tell you somebody I really like is Brent Musburger. He was NFL, and they had a falling out, and he kind of had to start over again with college. And he does the national title game. I love him on football.
Yeah.
Keith Jackson was great.
Oh, yeah.
Al Michaels is good.
But Musburger's
excellent. About Keith Jackson.
Buck. I tell you, the second team Fox is best. Who is it with Daryl Johnston and the big guy that used to play for the Ravens? They're a three-man team. He's always in the end zone. But Johnston, who was the fullback for the Cowboys, who is their is it Gumble? Is it
not Greg? Was it Greg? Not Greg.
It's not Greg Gumble. Is it his brother?
Yeah,
Brian back there.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, Greg.
But I tell you, the second Fox team is better than the first Fox
Greg
team.
Gumble. That's right.
You got Greg on there. I mean Brian on there. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Greg Gumble, not Brian Gumble. My
okay.
bad. Brian Gumble's kind of weird. You ever watch his show? That sports show? He covers some funky topics, man.
He does. You're right.
I mean, some weird stuff.
And he got caught red-handed in the hotel with the wrong woman on film.
Really?
I love that.
With the film?
The camera people were standing at the door when she came out.
I am aware of a situation where some dude was suspicious of his wife fooling around and had a video set up in their bedroom. They were in separate bedrooms already. They're already in separate bedrooms.
That's bad news right there.
And videotaped them the action, and then blackmailed
her.
Yeah,
or him.
Isn't that terrible, man? Yeah. See, I wouldn't have fallen for that. I'd say, okay, I'm calling the cops. This is blackmail. You can never succumb to blackmail.
No, you shouldn't. Let it out, because you will suffer the rest of your life. If you got $1, they'll take it.
I tell you, doing some divorce work, guys, there are some bad dudes out there that just can't let things go. In other words, instead of saying, okay, it's over, I'm going to handle this with class, they do some stupid things, mean things.
You can't make somebody say they don't want to stay.
I always say, best thing to say, where do I sign?
I see you, baby. I see you later.
Where do I sign?
Give me the pen.
Where do I sign? What do you want? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, can I keep the stuffed animal? Okay. You can have that too.
Bulldog, there's some women out there that won't let go too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Will not let go.
A woman scorned.
Oh,
bad news.
Love to hate. Worst thing can happen to you.
I've never been through a divorce, and I don't want to go through one.
Don't do it.
You ever been through one?
No, I had the same one.
TC, how was yours? Was yours rough, or if you want to talk about it, you don't talk about it. Was it smooth or rough? Or?
No, it was smooth. It was very smooth.
Good.
Yeah.
It's the best
friends.
kind.
We're
smooth.
Friends.
Yep.
I joke about her, but we're still friends.
Have you ever watched the movie? You ever watched the show Californication?
No, haven't seen
on
it.
Showtime.
Love the title
on Sunday
though.
night. Oh my gosh, there's some funky X stuff going on there, man.
There's some rated X TV out there, ain't it?
It is House of Lies with Don J.
All of them.
I mean, it's like...
Yeah, Wire. I mean, they had some scenes in The Wire. They had a rape scene in The Wire. I'm surprised they let on TV.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy stuff.
Rape, it's crazy. Oh, it's amazing.
Well, Sensible Don, do you have any final things to say? Maybe even promote yourself.
Yeah, if you want to talk to Sensible Don, come to Facebook /Sensible Don Lewis, and you can talk to me about the Bulldog, or I'm sure you're interested in the Bulldog. He doesn't say enough about himself on radio.
And you can go to ericdeters.com. It speaks for itself. No lawyer will ever outwork me. Bottom line is, I bring it every single day.
And his weight's still down. Look
Eric at ericdeters.com.
You look like a million.
Well, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for television. You never know when television's going to call.
When it hits.
First radio, then television.
It sounds good.
It might only be KET, but television. Cable access, it's still television. I'm waiting for that cable access call. Bulldog, this is cable access. We'd like to have you on.
You're like Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, Wayne's World, Wayne's World.
Bulldog Nation, Bulldog Nation, Bulldog Nation.
Of course, we already have cable access right here. We got our video cast.
That's right.
With Jacob behind the camera.
Jacob's the man.
I forgot you were there a little bit there today, Jacob.
That's bad news, Bulldog.
Every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow is yours. I will report to you tomorrow whether I had a superb or a bad day.
It's going to be bad.
On Real Talk 1160.